Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Giambetti along with Mike Egan, and we're here to talk about sports. But the first thing we want to talk about is the celebration of life that they had for Adam Johnson on Monday at the Hibbing Memorial Arena. And I'll let you can take one.
Well, I just, for all those that were involved in setting it up and planning it and getting it done, I just wanted, I think the city and all those involved did a great job. And it was really nice to see the number of people that came out and supported Mr. Johnson and his family. Nice to see the UMD hockey team, showing their support for him. So it was just a very nice deal, done very well. And, Hibbing gets a lot of Bad. Did I say Blad?
Blad.
Sorry. I meant to mean Professor Blad. Gets a lot of bad press for doing things not the right way, but they really did it nice, and I think it is a tribute to him and the hockey program. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they had the funeral on Sunday, and right. I guess there was a lot
Full
of
house.
people at the church there, and I didn't know what to expect, and I kind of felt out of place, to be honest with you, because I actually ran into Michael Russo, who's a reporter for the Athletic, and we had been texting back and forth prior to this happening because he wanted to know details, and I finally got to meet him, which was fantastic. That was certainly my pleasure to get to meet him because he's well known, I would believe, obviously throughout NHL circles. So I got to meet him, and we kind of just rode the wave together. But we're there as we, obviously I know the family, and I knew Adam, but I was also there to do a job,
Right?
Because we had to cover it, and kind of felt out of place a little bit, but
Doing your job.
well, we were, but they did not allow cameras inside the arena.
Right.
So you could take pictures in the lobby or outside or whatever you needed to do. And, I asked I saw a couple guys out in the lobby that looked like hockey players, and I asked one of them if he had played with Adam, and he said, yeah. And I said, would you like to talk about him? And I got no. So that was the end of that. But we did. Thank you to James Perunovich and Scott Pionk, who were spokespersons for the family, because they allowed us to do interviews with them after the ceremony was over. So I want to thank those two for being so kind and considerate to us. And it's just, again, it's over a week, probably a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now, and it's still hard to wrap your head around it. But
Well, and then kudos for the high school team. They're gonna wear his number on their sleeve this year and a sticker on their helmet. So, again, continuing the tribute to him. So
Well, and they also are on December 5th
retiring
his jersey. I think they're playing Denfeld that night.
First
I'm
home
not
game,
positive.
correct?
Yeah, I think it's Denfeld. And I got a email from Bob Cohn, who lives in Virginia, who was trying to get My Nine to come up here and do the game. I said, well, I hope it works out for you. Well, then about a few minutes later, he texts me or emails me back and says we got it.
Oh, great.
So Bob does the I believe Bob does the play-by-play, and he's a great play-by-play guy. So they got the game on My Nine that night.
And hats off to Virginia. They did a nice tribute. They got the big banner hanging in the arena there. So it's not surprising. It's just really nice to see the overall affection that the community has come together to show the family. So good for them.
So yeah. So again, our condolences go out to the Johnson and DeGraio families, and especially his fiancee Ryan and that family, because it's not going to be easy coming up with the holidays now. No. But hey, you'll get through it. You'll never forget him. So don't even think about something like that. Adam will always be in your hearts, and we just pray that you get through everything. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Well, Well, before we move on to, we'll have to lighten the scene a little bit. Today we're having, from our official and non-official sponsor, Caribou Coffee. This is what?
A pumpkin cooler, white mocha.
Then you were telling me earlier they ran out of la 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 la.
Well, no, they used to have an eggnog drink there that they didn't bring back this year.
And what was that called? Holy Hodo?
Fala latte.
Oh, Fala Latte.
The drink that shouldn't be named, but they didn't bring it back, and now they brought back the. They have.
I could just see you going up to the counter. Can I get one of them Fala La La lattes?
Yeah, believe me, it was not easy to order.
So now you end up with pumpkin.
Leftover
pumpkin.
Well, they brought in a new drink with oat nog in it, whatever.
Who?
Oat nog.
Oh, I thought it was the girl that made it.
OATNOGG or NOG or whatever it is, but they had run out of the nog, so.
Boy, what a terrible world we live in. We're out of nog.
We're out of nog. And
so la ta ta te.
Pumpkin was the only way to go this morning. So
that with or without the seeds?
Nah, there's no seeds in there.
Okay.
So
all right. There. Now we lighten the mood.
Right,
Let's go.
All right. So we have high school has been obviously winding down.
Yep.
We have the Section 7A swimming prelims are tonight in Hibbing. They start at 5:15
Thursday.
If you're looking for anything to do tonight, stop by. A lot of teams, great swimmers. You'll see some great action there.
And it's really warm in the pool.
And it is, so you won't have to dress
Accordingly.
Yeah, you'll have to dress accordingly. Thank you. And then the finals will be Saturday. Diving prelims will be in the morning, and then the swimming will probably start around 3. Then diving finals will start at 3. So we have that. That's all that's left. As far as Hibbing sports go, the cross country team placed 7th at the state.
Congratulations.
Last week on last Saturday. So congratulations to James and his coaching staff and all the girls. Melina Sullivan placed 16th overall, which gives her all-state honors. And so congratulations to her. A great way to end your senior season.
Be curious, next time you see him, Coach, please ask him how they like the new course. I mean, I know they ran it back in the early 60s. Is that or?
Well, they ran one. They always won a race there during the year.
Right, but not a state tournament.
Not a state meet, but I don't know if the last time if they had ever run a state meet there.
That was a university course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Okay.
And Olivia Pascuzzi from Chisholm was 14th overall in the Class A race.
Nice.
So congratulations to her. Greenway Nashwauk-Keewatin boys finished 4th as a team. So congratulations to Will Florsheim and the Titan boys. I know they wanted, if you ran virtual races on the computer, they were ranked right up between 1st and 2nd.
Oh.
So they did not run, evidently they did not run to the capability. Expectations that they could have. So they could have been 1st or 2nd in the state. Rock Ridge had Jack Kendall was down there, and Maya Lampa was down there. I don't remember what places they took, but congratulations to those two for getting the run there. And then Liz, I see Kate and Liz. I don't know which one, one of their twin sisters, but one of them, they're from Mountain Iron. She ran down there on her last year.
That must have been a long run for her.
Yeah, sure. And then Masabi East had Connor Felt down there, and Ely had Molly Brophy.
Nice.
So they I think the northern part of the state was represented pretty well down there. So congratulations to all that. Oh, and Lola Champlin of Nashwauk, or Greenway Nashwauk.
And speaking of other teams, Grand Rapids volleyball girls lost, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, I guess they did go to state, didn't they?
They went to state, but they lost last night, and they'll be playing for a consolation, I think, today or tomorrow. So.
Yeah. So and Ely's down there in Class A. So they must play. Do they play today?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, double or whatever they got so many different classes. You don't know which.
Well, there's like 4 of them.
Whatever happened to the good old days when it was 2 classes?
And 1 class hockey.
Yeah.
And then Mountain Iron Buell football team plays tonight in Grand Rapids against Nevis. So they're starting their quarterfinals, and if they win, they go on to the
state.
U.S. Bank Stadium
Yep.
in the semis. So that, they're on their way to maybe to repeat as champs.
Yep.
Beat Cherry 34-14 in the 7A in the 9-man final. So that's like 6 or 7 titles in a row for
Right.
them. So that program is
Very successful.
very
over
good.
there. Yep.
Very good. Dan Zubich does a great job over there. So good luck to them.
Good.
Now what?
Well, we got winter sports starting. Hockey.
Oh yes. Girls hockey started practice. This is their second week of practice. They have scrimmages going on this weekend at the Memorial
Yep.
Arena starting Friday, and then pretty much all Friday afternoon, and then pretty much all day Saturday. I don't know what teams are coming, but I'm sure probably Rapids Greenway will be here,
Right.
and then they'll bring some schools up from the cities. We'll come up to participate in that.
Will they run up here too?
You got me confused.
Oh, you said that young girl from Mount Iron ran to the.
Oh, no, yeah, she didn't run to the state tournament. I get where you're coming from, but I can never remember which is which over there, and I apologize if they hear this. But no, she, they've been strong. Both her,
Yep.
she and her sister have been strong runners their whole careers. So,
But
but
next
yeah,
couple of weeks, things will start happening.
The girls actually open their season at home on next Tuesday. I don't know who they play yet, but and then they have I think there's another home game Friday or Saturday. So, and the boys hockey will start practice Monday, and I believe along with girls basketball
Mm-hmm.
and alpine skiing starts on Monday, and
Must be a little grass skiing.
Yeah. I'm sure Giants Ridge is probably pumping out snow. But I'm sure Bryce Wally, who coaches the Alpine team, will probably do a lot of dry land there that first, get his kids a little bit in shape if they haven't already been working out. So boys basketball has had their captains practices going on, and wrestling, obviously we have co-coaches in Ellis Wojciechowski and Matt Anderson.
Yep.
They'll start the week after, I believe.
And hopefully the numbers will come up. So
Yeah, and then boys swimming is always last to start. I think it's before. Well, it might be after Thanksgiving. It might be the Monday after Thanksgiving. So we'll see if Hibbing gets anyone to state in swimming this year into girls. Hopefully they do. I just want to say that they did have one seated going into the meet. There's one. Rainey Gibson is seated second right now in the 100 butterfly. So if she can hold that or even move up to first, she'll have a good chance. He always puts together some good relays, so hopefully they can bump up. And
well, as we know, you don't take the first part of the season to judge what kind of a team they're going to have, because Coach Vingiano his style is to coach during the year, and then come state time, that's when you do that.
Well, the issue this year has been a lot of it. He says we're fast in the water, but he goes, we sometimes get in our own way, and they just don't. They're a young team, and they're not used to some of them aren't used to the bright lights.
Oh,
So I think when it comes to competition, they might get a little bit
rattled.
Yeah, and you just can't. They have to shake that off and just go out and swim as best they can.
They'll be all right.
So, let's see. I tried to get Pat Micheletti on today because the Wild
Made 2 trades.
made 2 trades yesterday. They traded Kalen Addison, I believe, to San Jose, sent him to purgatory.
Yeah. For some guy who leads the leagues and
No, I wasn't. That's not the
No,
one.
that's not the one.
But they got a draft pick and they got a prospect.
oh boy.
And then they think they traded 7th round pick to Tampa Bay for Zach Bogosian. Okay.
Yep.
Now,
Big hockey name.
well, he's a defenseman, big guy. I'm sure skilled. He wouldn't be in the NHL if he wasn't skilled. So,
But what are his skills?
But-
Skating or fighting?
well, that's I looked at his career stats last night when I found out about the trade, and he's in the plus minus department, he's a minus 82
Wow.
for his career. And his penalty minutes exceed over 200. I don't know how long he's played. I don't know how long he's been in the league, but I'm sure he's a guy who takes penalties, and really that's exactly What the Wild need is another guy to take penalties
Yeah.
because our penalty kill is so fantastic. Okay, now if you don't think I'm being sarcastic, then. But yeah, so we'll see. I mean, that's why I wanted to get Micheletti on, because I want to know if there's a long play here or something.
Yep.
But Jared Spurgeon will be coming back here, I guess, maybe tonight against the Rangers, or else when they play Buffalo on Friday. He could be coming back. Addison,
Young kid.
I was hoping he'd become more like a Cale Makar from Colorado, but he just never. And no, that's a top end player from Colorado there, but he just never seemed to get to that level, at least here. And that's another reason to talk to Pat about it, but because he knows more about it than I do.
How's that number 1 pick doing for the? Who does he play for?
Oh, Bedard. He.
I know he got 1 goal or 2.
Well, yeah, he was probably leading all rookies in goal scoring with 4 or 5, and I don't know how he's done since that. But what's his name? Marco Rossi, whatever they want to call him now, whatever his last name is, was tied with him at one point for most goals by a rookie, because he has actually picked up his game and is looking really good this year. And they put Rossi with Boldy and Kaprizov, and that line seems to be clicking pretty well.
Good.
Moved Hartman and Zuccarello down to the second line with Johansson, and that seems to be working a little better. I guess maybe.
Well, they're winning games. Or at
Yeah,
least
they
won
are.
one.
They've won 4 in a row, I think. So, but so hopefully they can continue that and get some points.
Timberwolves won again last night. 3 in a row.
Timberwolves are what, 4-0 at home or 5-0 at home?
4-0 at home, I
4-0
think.
at home, and
Yep.
they're 5-2, I think, overall.
Yep. And they're beating the Western Division teams who they have to, that they didn't last year. So.
Well, they handed Denver their first loss, and then they handed Boston their first loss of the season. And Boston, as far as I know, was at full strength. Now, New Orleans last night wasn't. But then, again, the Wolves last year would have played down to that level,
Right.
and they probably would have
They're in 3rd place.
probably would have got beat by New Orleans. So at least, and after losing to Atlanta the way they did this year, Chris Finch, the coach, didn't
Mix words.
no, he kept his starters in longer and
Yep.
made sure they stayed focused and they got the job done. So good for them. Hopefully now they have a game with San Antonio coming up now.
The big
with
kid's coming.
Victor Wembanyama. I think, yeah. So I guess he's been doing okay. I would expect a guy with his credentials to be scoring 25 to 30 points a game, but maybe I'm being a little unrealistic. But
I think a big thing with him is he's got to bulk up a little bit. I mean, he's 7'4" or whatever he is, and he's got a 8-foot wingspan. But some of those, like Rudy Gobert, he'll bump you around, he'll push you around, and
yeah,
it's.
And those two are obviously from the same country,
Yeah.
I believe. So they, Rudy's worked with him. So we'll see what happens if Rudy gets matched up with him in that game. So we'll see. And they have a couple games with Golden State coming up out in San Francisco or wherever they play, out in California. So it's not an easy schedule ever.
No.
But they also have this cup in
holiday tournament
that they're doing, and I'm not sure when the Wolves actually start that. Some teams have already started playing on that. You see the new floors?
No.
They're putting different floors in when they do that. It's got the trophy
Oh boy.
in the middle, running up and down the floor. So when they put it in for the Wolves, if you watch, you'll get to see it.
Starts Tuesday.
But
Starts Tuesday.
okay, so the Wolves start Tuesday, but some teams have already played some games, so it's in motion. The Final Four will head out to Las Vegas.
Yep.
I think after Thanksgiving, but I'm not sure on that. But
Just a way to make the NBA make more money, like their players really need it.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Heard an interesting deal watching about how the NFL is rigged. Kind of interesting.
Boy, I got to go on the website you're on.
Are you 18?
Yeah, yeah.
But they had a guy on from Las Vegas, speaking of Las Vegas, that was talking about how the NFL said some of the games have been and will continue to be rigged. One example was when Dallas played in the Super Bowl, and this guy, apparently a quarterback, owed money to certain individuals. So the guy told me, he says, when you throw your first three passes, I want you to throw them to three defensemen. And sure enough, his first three passes in the Dallas defense got all three in a row.
No
in
way.
In the Super Bowl, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So,
Well, it's funny more of that hasn't come out and been scrutinized a little bit.
but on a better note, the Vikings got Dobbs.
They have Dobbs.
Dobbs, the miracle worker.
Well, obviously, who did they play last week? Atlanta. Great defense.
Defense has been playing very well. But it was funny, they got Dobbs on the sideline and got all the offensive linemen around him taking hikes from Bradbury because he only took like 3 snaps during the week from him. So, hey, hats off to the kid. The kid did well.
He had to learn his cadence.
Yeah.
And they had one penalty,
Yep.
the Vikings, for 4 yards. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah.
But maybe it was a pass interference call for 4 yards.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, see now if the Vikings don't turn the ball over and they don't take stupid penalties, they can do fairly well.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
it's,
no slap on Mr. Cousins, but Mr. Dobbs kind of moves a little bit better than he does.
that's going to be the thing moving on now, is they have that. I don't know if you want to call it a run pass option, but he has that ability because he scrambled very well against Atlanta.
Scary though when he carries that ball like this.
Well,
He doesn't tuck it away.
yeah. Well, hopefully they correct that by the time he plays.
Well, he had
New
3
Orleans.
fumbles.
Well, yeah, at least 2 of them for sure.
Yeah.
So
But hopefully that we'll see how well he does. He's had a whole week now to practice, and we'll see how they do tomorrow or Sunday against the Saints. I think they're at home also.
yeah, that one's at home. So
And we'll see how well they do. I'm sure he'll get a great reception when he comes out on the field. So, what else going on? Oh, we talked.
well, we
about
talked about we were
Twins.
talking about the Twins
Yeah.
and wanting to cut salary.
I think they're
this
doing
year.
that so they can go get Otani.
Well, your inside sources. I never doubt you when you tell me you have an inside source for something.
Well, look at it this way. Here you got a guy coming off. He doesn't want to play in California. You want to play for a winning team, which the Twins have proven this year they can win.
Yeah.
They have the hitting. They just need that 1 or 2 individuals, and why not go out there and spend $50 million a year to get somebody that can pitch and hit and play every day. So
Well, he's not gonna. I don't know if he's gonna pitch next year because I think he did have Tommy John surgery this year, so he might not be viable for pitching.
well, maybe they get him for $48 million then.
Well, it'll be a $500 million contract.
It's better than the 7-year itch they got from Buxton.
Well, it would be an improvement, no doubt.
Yeah, but you did say they signed Kepler now. Kepler and
Polanco.
Polanco.
Both
Polanco's a good sign.
Yeah, and Kepler had a great season. Now, if he can keep it up.
He came on towards the end. Yeah, I mean he's a pretty good right fielder.
Yep. And they have Taylor out there, and if your buddy Buxton is
to go.
healthy, he'll play out there.
I think it's time for Mr. Buxton to either go or do something. I
But-
really do.
But they need to sign. They need to sign Sonny Gray. They
sign
have
him.
to keep that pitching staff
Yep.
intact. They have to add probably one more pitcher, and they have to add at least a hitter. And one thing I heard early, maybe in September or October, was Pete Alonso from the Mets,
Okay.
first baseman. I think his tenure with the Mets is on a short leash right now. I think he wants to get out of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
but he could be trade bait, and you certainly have enough to trade to get him.
In the past years, it seems like the Twins and the Mets have a love-hate relationship with one another.
And a name brought up this morning was Cody Bellinger,
Ooh,
which would be
MVP.
that would be a coup. I mean, if you could
Yeah.
pick somebody like that. But it's always fun to throw names out there, but what they do.
But even that, if the guy like Ballinger, yeah, he had a gre't year this year. Wasn't he MVP of the
I don't
World
know
Series?
if he was or not.
But who's to say he's going to have that same type of season next year?
Yeah, you don't know.
But I think it's just they need to bring some older players to get some senior leadership, because you can't just rely on one guy to do that for them. They're shortstop. So, and why they're cutting? They were making money. I mean, it's not like the old days where Polad would always complain, or Kelvin Griffin would complain that they didn't make money. They had to have made money this year, I would think.
Well,
So,
you would think. But we talked about losing Valley Sports North,
Right.
so they're losing $50-some million
yeah,
there.
somebody will pick them up.
So hopefully we can watch the Twins next year.
Yeah, it might be all pay-per-view.
Yeah, that wouldn't.
That wouldn't go over well.
No, I'm not like. What's the NFL on Thursday night? Prime?
Not for long.
I'm not. I'm never gonna pick up a streaming service like that just to watch an
Watch a
NFL
football game. No.
That's not I would never do that.
And really, the Thursday night games, has there been any good ones?
Don't know. I haven't paid attention.
Haven't watched them.
Haven't paid attention. Don't know.
Good.
At least the Vikings have their Thursday game out of the way
Right.
because they played Philadelphia.
Yep.
They were complaining back then about that, having to play. Well, they played Tampa, then they had to go to Philadelphia on Thursday. If you're going to do that, do it early in the year.
Right.
Because you're not beat up. I mean, I know you get beat up after a game, but
You're not dragging.
you're not dragging like you would be right now.
Right.
So they got that out of the way.
Well, we did it again.
Yeah, I can't think of anything coming up we need to talk about.
Did you get the notice for the Emmy celebration?
No. We win a Marconi or something?
No, it was like an Emmy, but it was
Oh.
spelled different. Enemy?
Enemy? No, I haven't. We're not up for any awards, I don't think. But
Well, we got longevity.
Number one in my book.
Yeah, we're number
Well,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, we got longevity going right now.
we're still on
I think
the
we're
air.
running longer than the previous show that used to be on the air here. So,
Well,
but
We got nothing else.
yeah,
what
yeah,
else
there's
we got?
nothing
Yeah,
else.
so,
So for Mike Egan, I'm Gary Gimbetti. We'll see you again next week on Home Team Advantage.
For over 25 years, U.S. Bank, located at 211 East Howard Street in Hibbing, Minnesota, has provided office and studio space for Hibbing Public Access Television. We are thankful for their ongoing support.